Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, centuries before Disney scribbled down a fairy tale called Cinderella, there was a young girl. But this wasn't the story of glass slippers or fairy godmothers. No pumpkins, no magic, no bibbidi babbidi boo. This was a tale of cruelty, of slavery, of a girl stolen from her home, forced to serve those who despised her, a girl who never belonged. And yet, by fate, by the gods, or perhaps by sheer luck, she became a queen. This is the story of Rhodopis, the first ever Cinderella. Though our story takes place in Egypt, it does not begin there. Our story starts in Greece. A young girl named Rhodopis lived by the sea, where the sun shone bright and the waters stretched into forever. But fate had other plans for her. Rhodopis was stolen, taken by traders, and sold as a slave to a wealthy master in Egypt. She soon found herself beneath the scorching sun of ancient Egypt, where the Nile River shimmered like liquid gold. She wasn't like the other girls. Her skin was pale, her hair a cascade of golden curls, and that made her a target. The other servant girls, dark-haired and of Egyptian blood, resented her for her foreign features. They mocked her and called her an outsider. They made sure to make her miserable, forcing her to work harder than any of them. But Rhodopis never complained. Instead, she found solace in something no one could take from her. Rhodopis loved to dance. When she found the time, she would slip away to dance barefoot in the sun, twirling with the wind, her movements almost otherworldly. She danced not for attention nor for anyone. She danced for herself. Rhodopis's master, an old and wealthy man, saw her dancing one evening, and for the first time in her life, somebody saw her as more than just a mere slave. Shortly afterwards, as she worked in the village courtyard, her master called her forward. "Come here, child," he said, holding out a bundle wrapped in fine silk. Her hands trembled as she unwrapped the gift, revealing a pair of red leather slippers. They were unlike anything she had ever seen, woven delicately, soft as the Nile's waters. The other servant girls grew jealous. Their hatred of Rhodopis deepened. They laughed at her, whispering that she must have bewitched their master. How else would he take a special interest in her? But Rhodopis did not care. She had never been given anything so beautiful before, and she cherished it with all her heart. One day, an announcement shook Egypt. A festival was to be held in Memphis, where the pharaoh himself would choose his queen. Every girl dreamed of going. When Rhodopis dared to ask if she could also go, the other servant girls scoffed at her. "You?" they laughed. "A foreign girl at the pharaoh's festival? You don't belong there." They made sure to pile even more work on her, ensuring that she would be too exhausted to leave. When the time came, they left, dressed in their finest. Rhodopis sat alone by the river, her feet bare in the warm sun. She felt like a bird trapped in a cage, destined to serve, while others danced. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a great falcon swooped down, its wings cutting through the air like a dagger. Before she could react, the falcon snatched one of her red slippers in its claws and soared into the sky. No! Rhodopis gasped, standing helplessly as the bird disappeared into the horizon. What Rhodopis didn't know was that this was no ordinary falcon. Egyptians believed that the falcon was the messenger of Horus, the god of kingship, and as fate would have it, the bird carried her slipper straight to Pharaoh Amasis, who sat upon his golden throne in Memphis. The pharaoh, dressed in his resplendent robes, watched in amazement as the falcon dropped the tiny slipper into his lap. Pharaoh, the ruler of all Egypt, watched in awe. The priest murmured, "This is what set me a sign from the gods. Find me the girl who owns the slipper. She shall be my wife," Pharaoh declared, raising the slipper into the air. Messengers were sent all across Egypt, carrying the red slipper to every noble house, every marketplace, every village. But no one's foot fit the delicate shoe. When the search finally reached the villa in which Rhodopis lived, the other servant girls eagerly pushed forward, desperate to try on the slipper. But each one failed. The slipper was far too small for their feet. Then, just as the guards were about to leave, one of them noticed a timid girl standing by the river's edge, her feet bare. "You," the guard said, "come forward." Rhodopis hesitated. The other girls laughed cruelly. "Her? She's just a servant." But the guard ignored them. He knelt before her, holding out the rose-red slipper. Trembling, Rhodopis slipped her foot inside, and it fit perfectly. The guards triumphantly led her away to Memphis, where she stood before the mighty Pharaoh. As she bowed low before him, he did not see a mere slave girl. He saw the queen the gods themselves had chosen for him. And so, Rhodopis became the queen of Egypt. But even as she sat upon her golden throne, wrapped in silks and jewels, she still danced by the river's edge when no one was watching, just as she had when she was a simple girl with nothing but a pair of red slippers and a dream. And that, my friends, is the earliest recorded version of Cinderella. No fairy godmothers, no magic spells. Just a girl, a slipper, and a fate written in the stars. But Cinderella's story doesn't end here, because next, we are traveling to China, where Cinderella didn't just lose a slipper. She escaped death itself. Till then, stay safe and see you next time.